Using a few search strings, I found different devices connected to the internet, accessed their web login interfaces, filtered them by where they are located, what ports are open, what operating systems they are running, and much more. This is the power of an0n, a search engine designed specifically for searching devices that are connected to the internet, and giving us a goldmine equivalent information on them. And in this video I'm quickly gonna go over how an0n works, and also how we can get the most out of it, using some of the search filters it allows us to include with our searches. So let's start. Okay, so before we actually go ahead and start using an0n, I want to give you a basic understanding of how it works. So if we give its home page, located at an0n.io, a quick look, we can see that we have a search bar here, where we can put in our search query and start searching for devices. Now you should know that every device out there that is connected to the internet, always has something called a banner, similar to the one you can see right here. So when we search for a keyword on an0n, what an0n does is it searches for that keyword in these fields of a device's banner, and returns the matching results for our search query. For example, if I wanted to search for the model of a server or router, I could put in the relevant keywords in the an0n search bar, and an0n will return the results with the devices that contain the matching keywords somewhere in these fields of their banners. And this also goes for the MAC address or IP address of a specific device. Now if we go back to an0n's homepage, and search for something like camera, it will go ahead and list all the devices that contain the keyword camera in their banner. Now on the left side of the page, you can see that we also have some filters that we can apply to our search, if we are looking for something specific. So we can search for devices by location, by their ports, organizations, products, and even by their operating systems. And these filters really come in handy, if we are looking to exploit the devices of a specific company or organization. Now also note that just because these devices contain the keyword camera in their data field, doesn't necessarily mean that they are actually cameras. They just have that keyword in their banners, and that's also why an0n listed them. But let's just click on a few of these to see if we can actually find a web interface for a camera. And here we go. Now this particular camera does require a username and password to log in, which we can usually brute force using default usernames and passwords of this manufacturer. But the fact that we were able to discover this web interface can be very useful. If, for example, this specific camera belonged to an organization that we were thinking of hacking, and by compromising this camera, we can basically compromise the network of that organization if we use this camera as an access point, or we could just simply invade that organization's privacy, which could help us in performing multiple social engineering attacks. Now I'm not going to be doing any of those things with this camera, as of course I don't have the permissions, but what I am going to do is search for some cameras that have no authentication on them, and are just open to the internet for anyone to access, using some filters with my search. So to do it, if I go back up here in the search bar, and type, has_screenshot, and set that to true, it will give us a variety of cameras that are just open to the internet, as _screenshot basically means listing all the devices that an0n was able to take a screenshot of and were open. Now again, the cool thing about this is that we can even filter them by country or by the product type. And if you want to go ahead and experiment with various different search filters like the one we used here, you can go ahead and open this web page, on which you'll find multiple search strings or filters that you can use with your searches. So we can use the search filter of has vulnerability here, to search for certain vulnerabilities in a device. We can also search them by their host names, their IPs, and a variety of other filters. Next, another pretty cool thing that I want to show you here is that, if we remove the keyword camera from our search, and just search for screenshots, we will get the screenshots of all the devices that an0n was able to take a screenshot of, not just cameras. So as you can see, mostly we got some remote desktop access web pages, which were open to the internet at some point in time. Now if I also add a double quotation in my search string like this, and then search for a name to look for in these screenshots, let's say John, and hit enter, it will go ahead and display all the screenshots with the name John written somewhere in them. So again, these filters are really handy for targeting an individual company or a person in that company, so I would recommend you to go ahead and experiment with them to see what else you can do. Now the final thing that I want to tell you about is that, there are also a number of other interesting an0n searches, that you can find on Google and other forums, using which you can find some crazy search results on an0n, or you can also go to an0n Explore page, to search for different devices categorized by an0n itself. Anyways guys, I'm gonna end the video here, as the main purpose of this video was to just scratch the surface, and tell you what an0n is used for, and how you can basically search for devices that are connected to the internet. If you want me to make a detailed video on how we can actually target a specific organization using an0n, let me know in the comments section down below, and I will upload a detailed tutorial soon.